up, PV Clan? Alex Espion here, and welcome back to the next episode of Pokemon Red Randomizer Nuzlocke. I'm gonna start this episode by... Actually, I was gonna say chopping down this tree and going to get that Pokeball, but what I actually want to do first is get back to the previous town we were in, like in the last episode, which was Lavender Town, and go heal my Pokemon, as well as get our new Gengar out of the PC. In case you did miss the last episode, we encountered the Snorlax encounter, woke it up with the Pokeflute and all that, because in case you've never seen a playthrough Gen 1, that is what you have to do to get past the Snorlax. Always here to help you. I'm happy to help you all out with my wonderful walkthrough here. But yeah, in case you've never played these games, there's a Snorlax on this route here. And what you gotta do to get past it is you gotta get the Pokeflute from Mr. Fuji, or as I like to call him, Mr. Fiji, because I think that's funny. And he is up at the top of Pokemon Tower. You gotta get through Pokemon Tower, defeat all the Team Rocket members, and then you gotta get to him. And he's right here. He used to be in the tower, but then he like teleported down with us, and we ended up in his house. He gives you the Pokeflute, bada bing, bada boom. Now you can wake up the Snorlax. So that is what we did in the last episode, pretty much. That's the easiest way to sum it up, really. And, we used that Pokeflute to wake up the Snorlax, which ended up being a Gengar, which ordinarily, obviously, its species clause, in case you didn't know, Dupe's clause, is a clause that can be activated in a Nuzlocke. Obviously, it's not required, hence I call it a clause and not a rule. I don't even know what the word clause means off the top of my head. Like, I know who Santa Claus is, but, I don't know what actually is meant by the word clause. Is it like I don't know. I've heard like clauses in like contracts and stuff, but I don't know actually like what the definition of a clause is. Like I couldn't define the word clause. Deposit Pokemon first? What? That is crazy. That you can't just like move them. You can't just like move it in and out of the party. Like in this game, you have to. Okay, obviously we're getting rid of Lucy because sorry Lucy, I know you've been sitting there on this team, waiting for your time to come for so long ever since we got you. But sadly, your time still has not come, and at this rate, probably never will. It's rough. Sorry, Lucy, but you're just too difficult for us to train up at the moment. If we ever do lose a Pokemon, which hopefully we don't, but if we ever do, I will definitely consider you for a candidate to add to the team. Because you do have Hydro Pump, and that is very nice to have on a water type, but then again, you will evolve at some point. And then you will no longer be a water type, probably. And maybe they still will be, because I believe water is the most prominent type in Gen 1. Isn't that interesting, how, like, you can't count, like, that many Gen 1 water types, but the fact is, you probably can't count that many Gen 1 water types. Like, yes, you can count a lot, because obviously that's the most prominent type, but it's not, like, a major, like, I guarantee if you, like, took percentage of if you were like, okay, what percentage of Gen 1 water types, what percentage of Gen 1 Pokemon are water types, it wouldn't be that high, but the thing is, it's like still the most prominent type, because there's just so many types in the game. It's like, no type is like 50% of all Pokemon in the generation, and yet it's still like, I need to go back up there and heal up Albert, because I healed before taking Albert out of the PC like a stupid idiot. I'm gonna go back up. Sorry guys, sorry to be wasting your time, but hey, hopefully my commentary is making things a lot more interesting as I go up and down this stupid path, this route that is way too long. But anyway, as I was saying, like if you just like, no Pokemon type takes up like say 50% of the Pokedex it's from. You know, it's like, no, the Gen 1 Pokedex is not like 50% any type, because that's just like way too high a percent. But, so, like, it's probably more of a thing of, like, so, like, when you think of, oh, most prominent type, the answer might not be that obvious, because it's not like, there are so many types, you know? It's like, yes, this one has more Pokemon than this one, but, like, I'd imagine it's quite close, the prominence of all types. Like, I'd imagine that there are some ones that are, like, much less prominent than others, like Dragon and Ghost. Obviously, there's only one evolution line for each of those. But with other ones, it's like, I'm sure it's much closer with Grass and Water, the amount of Pokemon there are of that type in Gen 1. So, like, maybe 11% of Pokemon in Gen 1 are, like, grass or water type, and maybe 10% are grass. That sounds very wrong, but I don't know if the number would be higher or lower, but something about that number definitely doesn't sound right. So, yeah, that's probably a bad example, but you get the idea, you get the gist of it. Probably not factual at all, but you get what I'm trying to say, I'm sure. Anyway, so, in previous episodes I've said about, like, my dislike for Super Mario Odyssey, and I will say, like, not a bad game, but I definitely do think, like, by Mario standards, it's pretty bad. It's like, I'm sure, like, there is an audience for it. If you like Mario Odyssey, I'm not gonna flaunt you for it. I will simply point out what I do not like about it, because that's the wonderful thing about opinions, is that they're like assholes. We all have them. So, why not share? I have a platform, so I'll share. So, like, one thing I will say I like about Mario Odyssey is, like, the introduction of the regional coins, because you get purple coins. First of all, my favorite color is purple, so I'm down for purple things being added to video games. But, like, in general, it is a good idea. I like them much better than Super Mario Galaxy's purple coins, because those are very annoying to collect in some levels. You never knew what you could catch. You never know what you could catch. Indeed. Yeah, I remember some of those Super Mario Galaxy purple coin missions being absolutely torturous. Like, it reminds me of, and I'm sure it's supposed to, the, like, Super Mario 64 stars, like the 100 coin stars, because obviously I feel like in all of the purple coin stars in Super Mario Galaxy, you have to collect 100. Maybe that's wrong, maybe there are some where it's not 100, but I feel like most, if not all of them, you do have to collect 100 for, which obviously makes it eerily familiar to the 100 coin stars of Super Mario 64, which were present in every level. And I think that while it would have been... Okay, I'm glad that they're not in every level, but I'm also glad that, like, they exist. Because, like, Super Mario 64 100 coin stars, on some levels they were very annoying, but I do like the idea of, like, coins actually having a use. Because obviously, like, they had a use in a lot of games, but, like, in modern-day Mario, they don't really have a use. Like, obviously, in previous Mario games, it's like, you know, you need them to get lives, because if you get a game over, then then that means, like, going back quite a ways, usually, in the older games. Obviously, in future games, getting a game over is not that big of a deal. So, therefore, lives matter less, and therefore coins, in turn, matter less. But I will say that, like, I think that the whole idea of, like, your lives are tied to money is weird. Like, I don't think that... I don't agree with that. Like, I never really agree with that in Mario. Just, like, the fact that you get 100 coins, you get a 1-up. Like, that doesn't seem like... Something about that just doesn't seem correct. It doesn't seem, like, logical to me that you just, like, collect money and then you gain life. But I guess money does make the world go round. So, like... Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that, like, I do like... 100 coins gives you a star, a lot more than 100 coins give you lives. Because, and I do like the way that Super Mario 64 overall just handles lives. Because I feel like in Super Mario 64 it's much harder to rack up lives than in 3D Mario. Which makes sense because, like, I feel like a lot of the Mario games before Super Mario 64 were much harder. Because 2D Mario requires, like, precision. While Super Mario 64, like I said, is a 3D Mario game. Like I said in a previous episode, 3D Mario games are more puzzle-based than, like, precision-based. So I'd say that, like, Super Mario 64 being an easier game than, like, Super Mario Bros. And maybe you don't think so. Maybe you look at 1-1 and you look at Bob on Battlefield and you're like, okay, which one of these is harder? But, like, if you really think about it, like, maybe not the first few levels, but, like, original Super Mario Bros. Difficulty definitely spikes. Like, there's definitely a difficulty spike. It definitely does get a lot harder. Lost it! While Super Mario 64's difficulty really does not get any harder, like considerably harder anywhere in the game. It just sort of, like, slowly goes up, but, like, I wouldn't say that, say, Tick-Tock Clock is that much harder than Whomp's Fortress. And I probably will get, like, people yelling at me. But, like, if you know what you're doing, it's not Like, I know that you can, like, stop the clock. So if you know how to stop the clock, then I feel like Tick Tock Clock's not a problem. I feel like the problem with Tick Tock Clock is, like, not having game awareness. Because if you stop the clock, then all of a sudden all the parkour becomes easy. Have you found a moonstone? I don't think so. I feel like I would still have it if I did, because I don't recall evolving anything with a moonstone. And I definitely did not put a moonstone in the PC, because until the last episode, I didn't even know how to put things in the PC. Items, I mean. I know how to put Pokemon in the PC. You just catch more Pokemon when you have a full team of 6. That's how you put Pokemon in the PC. But, yeah, anyway, as I was saying, just, I like the idea of regional coins in Mario Odyssey. Like, Mario Odyssey, a lot of complaints from me about that game. But one thing they did do right was, like, the way that they made the whole, like, economy, and the way that they made, like, coins. Like, because, like, okay, I've said before, 10 coins getting taken away from you for dying is, like, stupid. Like, that is not enough of a punishment for, oh my gosh, I forgot that it doesn't affect, ghost type moves don't affect psychic types in this game. Usually in future generations, it's super effective, but in this game, it is not. It actually is, they are immune to it, psychic types. They're immune to ghost type moves, which is crazy. Yeah, I like the way Mario Odyssey handles money. Like, yes, the whole you get 10 coins taken away from you because you died thing is stupid. Like, that is not a harsh enough punishment for dying, but at the same time, I do like the idea of buying things with the money rather than collecting money to gain lives. Because that doesn't make any sense. Like, obviously, it makes a lot more sense. Like, oh yeah, who would have thought? Buy things with the money. Like, it's crazy that it took until Super Mario Odyssey for, like, Mario to use money as money. In previous games, he just sort of collected it and gained lives. He collected it to keep himself alive. In this game, he's actually using money as money, which makes sense. So it's like, yeah, I do like that a lot better, and I especially like purple coins, because the purple regional coins, because they are, like, each one is designed to have, like, a design of the kingdom, and I think that's really cool. I like the way they fleshed out all the kingdoms. Like, I really do think that the kingdoms are it's really cool how the kingdoms are also vastly different design-wise. It's like, yes, in other Mario games you have, like, sand, and you have ice, and you have, like, all these different levels that are, like, different biomes. You have, like, a volcanic area, you have, like, a grassland, you have, like, space. You have, like, all these different differently designed areas in, like, other Mario games. But Super Mario Odyssey, I feel like Super Mario Odyssey, why did I say that so weird? Ow! Super Mario Odyssey, I feel like there's an even bigger contrast just because of, like, all the different characters you see in all these different kingdoms. It's, like, not just the land that's different, but, like, the entire culture. And, like, Tostarena, I love Tostarena. I think it's really cool that, like, the inhabitants of Tostarena are, like, reminiscent of Dia de los Muertos, like, types of, like, skull designs and stuff. They got, like, those whole, like, Day of the Dead patterns on them. I think that's really cool. And they also wear sombreros and, like, they have maracas. I love the vibe. I love the vibe of Tostarena. And also, just, like, I love how Lake Kingdom has mermaids. That's cool. And they see, like, Lock Lady dress because it's, like, the whole, like, dress. It's like a wedding dress that, like, it has, like, waves to it, just like the lake. It's really cool. I found Corvus in a cave once. And then you have, like, Mount Volbano, where all the people are forks. It's, like, a really cool idea. And then also, just, like, the boss is a bird with a chef hat. I mean, how can you not love that? His attacks are less lovable because he just starts puking at you. But, hey, they can't all be winners. I will say it's a very creative idea. Yes, what's his name? I don't even know what his name is. Cookatiel? Yes, Cookatiel is very disgusting, but it's also very creative, and I don't think anyone can deny that. It does remind me of something else, though. I feel like there's some other Mario boss that puked lava, and I don't know which one it is, and that sounds... It puked something. It puked either lava or something pink, and I don't remember which one. But I know there's some Mario boss that pukes something, and I was like, this is really similar to Cookatiel. I don't remember what it was, though. It might have been Super Mario Galaxy. That sounds like a Super Mario Galaxy type of thing. Just something to puke something. I don't really know. Speaking of Super Mario Galaxy, that boss, like the boss that's like a spider, that one's really cool. I really like that boss. Super Mario Galaxy, very solid bosses. I think that like Super Mario Galaxy is like Super Mario Sunshine. They were starting to get it, but I think that Super Mario Galaxy is where the Mario boss fights started to really get interesting. And like, yeah, 2D Mario didn't really ever like get that much more interesting. 2D Mario has always been like, oh, Koopalings or Boom Boom. But like 3D Mario, you can definitely see the evolution of just like battles getting more and more complicated, like different, like them developing more and more types of designs and more like styles of fight. And I think that the whole like flinging yourself at the boss is really cool with like the spider fight, because you're like using his webs against him, because normally like you think of a spider web and it's like, oh yeah, that's what they trap flies in, but in this case like Mario is the fly getting trapped in the web, but unlike a fly, he's not really trapped, he's using the web to his advantage, and I think that's a really cool idea for a fight. It's just like fighting the spider with the web, you know, it's like there's the little pieces of web sticking out of the spider web, little pieces of webbing sticking out of the spider web. Looks like Mario gets caught in, and then you can like sling them back in order to launch yourself at the boss. I will say it's really disgusting that you're launching yourself at like pus-filled green blobs on him. But like, hey, spiders are pretty disgusting already, so like, I guess what's the harm in making it a little bit more disgusting? Just messed up, yeah. Honestly, that boss's whole mechanic of you have to hit the pus-filled green things on its body is pretty messed up, I agree. My bird Pokemon went to scrap. Yikes, what does that even mean? Is this like... You went to scrap? Like, that's odd. Not the only one who thinks that wording's odd. Like, first of all, you don't even have bird Pokemon. Second, how did they go to scrap? It's like, they think scrap, and it's like, oh yeah, like metal. Scrap metal. But like, they are not robots. Unless you think birds that are robots, unless you're one of those people. In which case, I mean, I've never seen a baby bird before, so I can't tell you you're wrong. But yeah, and then you have like, I also just love like the idea of going from kingdom to kingdom. Bowser going from kingdom to kingdom, just like getting all of these things for his wedding, and like, it stinks that. Super Mario Odyssey, I think for the first time makes you feel kind of bad for Bowser, because like, yes, in like spin-off games maybe you did, but like I feel like Super Mario Odyssey does a good job of like sort of humanizing Bowser, which like, don't get me wrong, forcing someone to marry you is definitely messed up, but it's like, at least he cares, you know, at least he cares enough to like go across the world and get like the best stuff for Peach. It is really kind of sweet. In Bowser's own messed up way, it's kind of sweet. My bird combo lost? Yeah, it's rough, man. You robotic birds were not victorious today. I'm told I'm good for a kid. Is she a kid? Let's see. Let's see if this kid is actually a kid. In the world of the randomizer, this kid is in fact an ace trainer, which is what they were previously, I think, actually. But yeah, I also just love the contrast of like Mario... like, when Mario and Bowser are, like, fighting over Peach at the end, Mario has rocket flowers, and Bowser has piranha plants, which I think is so awesome. Like, it's just one of those, like, cute little details that's like, oh my gosh, yeah, it's just, like, it really highlights the contrast between them. And I think it's also, like, comical that, like, piranha plants can get that small, because you usually picture, like, piranha plants as, like, these big, menacing plants that'll swallow you whole. But in that case, like, Bowser's got, like, tiny ones that he's holding in his hand, and I think that's funny. Oh my gosh, like, Piranha Plant in Smash, though. I don't talk about Smash Bros. Enough. Like, for someone who plays a whole load of Smash Bros., I don't talk about Smash Bros. Enough. And I know I'm just segueing from, like, thing to thing. It's definitely one of those episodes where I'm just, like, going from topic to topic and really just, like, oh, I'm talking about this got me talking about this, that got me talking about that, and I'm just going from thing to thing. But, like, and I'm sorry if it's a little too much for you to follow, but I am just like this sometimes. Like, on occasion, we have these episodes where I just don't talk about the game very much, and I just go on tangent after tangent about who knows what. Typically video games. It's very often video games. I think that one time, maybe it wasn't about video games, and that was the time I was explaining about my opinions on fast food, which bomber episode, by the way. If you haven't seen that one, go check it out. I don't know what episode it was. I'd give you an episode number if I knew an episode number, but I don't know an episode number. This series has been going on for so long now that I couldn't possibly give you an episode number. It was pretty early, I think. I think it was like before episode 20, which is crazy that that's early. But at this point, we were at episode 41, which is nutty to me that this crap is taking this long. Like, I thought it was going to be long, but I didn't think it was going to be this long. Like, this is insane. It's kind of insane that the series is still going, but I'm willing to see it through to the end. Also, I'm going to need to take a drink of water real fast because my throat is starting to feel all this talking. Like, these episodes where I talk non-stop, or it's about, like, who knows what, and I go on from tangent to tangent, like, topic to topic, but it's like, I tend to, like, since I tend to, like, switch topics really quickly, I want to get all my words out really quickly so that I finish a topic before I move on to another one by accident. And so, in order to do that, I tend to talk even faster than I normally do when doing these types of episodes, which is crazy because I already talk so fast usually. But obviously I do, as you can probably see. Like, if you compared the episodes, I'm sure you would see that in these types of episodes where it's like constant talking about not the game, I will just be talking and talking, and I'll be talking a lot faster. Bone Club is super effective. I didn't think about that. I switched out of Jolteon because Bone Club would be super effective on Jolteon, not realizing that it is also super effective on Alice. We wouldn't want Alice to die right after they got a boyfriend. That would not be very good. But yeah, these episodes just tend to take these types of episodes result in a lot more talking, which because I'm covering more topics more quickly, so that means I'm saying more words. So it means that in these episodes, I typically have to take a drink of water every once in a while, just to make sure that my throat doesn't explode. So here we go. This is one of those moments I'm going to take a drink of water, and typically I say, like, oh, I'm sure you hear this water ASMR or some crap like that, but you typically don't, so I'm just going to stop saying that. I'm just going to assume that you don't hear me drinking the water, but take me at my word, I'm drinking water right now. Here we go. Okay. That is some high-quality H2O, as Original 151 would say. No, I lost! Yes, you did. I am very sorry, but hey, you were another blockade in my path. Sorry, I need the XP. Our team is looking pretty not good right now. I'm gonna go back to Pokemon Center, actually, because yes, I know that, like, the Pokemon Center is, like, the nearest town is, like, right past that route, but that route has quite a few trainers on it, to the point where I'm not really, like, I don't feel comfortable continuing on down that route before I've healed up, because, like, yes, I have a Pokemon at full health, but everyone else is, like, not doing so good, and I'm sure that Jolteon can handle the whole route by himself. I don't doubt Jolteon's abilities. Jolteon has not let me down so far in this Nuzlocke, to my memory, according to my memory. My memory isn't that good, so maybe he has, and I just don't recall. But, from what I can recall, Jolteon has not let me down yet. So I feel like Jolteon would be able to handle that entire route by themselves, theoretically, but I don't really want them to. I want our Jolteon here, whose name I can't remember all of a sudden. I want Jolteon to be able... I want Jolteon to take a back seat for now, just so that we can get everyone else leveled up to a decent level, because, like, even... It's not just, like, our new team member, Albert, who is underleveled. It's, like, everyone is underleveled compared to Jolteon. Like, even, maybe, some people just a little bit, and is another level 40 Pokemon. In fact, I think that Gerald is level 41. I think Gerald, at this point, is surpassing Jolteon, which is crazy that Gerald, who has only normal type moves, and none of them are stab, is surpassing a Jolteon with electric stab in usage. I think that's nuts. Like, maybe they aren't. Maybe Jolteon is getting more usage, but Gerald is just leveling up quicker. I don't really know, but the fact that Gerald is higher level is leading me to believe that they are getting more usage, which is just crazy to me, because I remember when Gerald was, like, the iron ball and chain dragging the team down, and now they're actually starting to put in work, which is great. Like, honestly, I shouldn't say starting. Gerald has been putting in work for quite a while now. I just haven't really been saying it. Like, I tend to always praise, like, Alice, our Haunter, and our Raticate, whose name is Carly, I think, Heck yeah, I'm getting these right now. Let me just make sure that I'm associating it with the right sprite. Yeah! Not only am I learning the Pokemon, like, by name, but I'm also learning the sprites. What is our starter here? Andrew. Andrew is the Jolteon. Okay. I should really know that one. Like, everyone else, it's kind of, like, excusable that I don't know the nickname, because, like, obviously I can't correlate the nickname with a sprite in this game, because all the sprites really look the same. Like, there's a couple different variants of sprite. Like, Sprite and Sprite Cranberry, and no. And there's a couple different variants of sprite, but, like, pretty much, there's, like, only, like, there's not that many. I know there's like the Rhino one, there's like the Rhydon looking one that a lot of Pokemon are, and then there's like this cow one that like Carly and Andrew are, and then there's like this snake one that Ekans is. But yeah, there's just like not that many, there's not that much variety in like the sprites of this game, and compared to like other games, future games obviously, where all Pokemon had different sprites, and then they got rid of sprites altogether, which is kind of sad, but hey, that's okay. You know, it's not okay. I do like sprites. I feel like everyone likes sprites. Like, you may like 3D Mario. You may like 3D Pokemon designs, you know? Like, you may like the 3D models. I personally love the 3D models. But, like, the sprites had so much charm. Like, I can't tell what I like better. And it's like, and it's hard because you can't have both. You know, you can't have, like, 3D models and sprites. But I like them both a lot. Like, there are certain advantages to sprites, and there are certain advantages to 3D models. So I can't really say, like, which one I like better. But I will say I miss sprites, just because I don't have them at the moment. Like, sprites make me nostalgic. Like, even if I don't necessarily like sprites any better than 3D models, sprites make me nostalgic. So I remember them fondly. But do you want to Pokemon with me? Do you want to Pokemon with me? Is Pokemon a verb now? That's odd. Do you want to battle Pokemon with me? No. Do you want to Pokemon with me? The hit new verb, fresh out the dictionary. Pokemon. To Pokemon is to have a Pokemon battle, I guess. Or like, to catch a Pokemon? What exactly does it mean to Pokemon? I'm guessing by her usage that it is to battle Pokemon. It's like, when you Pokemon, it means you are battling Pokemon. But that is just kind of weird that she said, would you like to Pokemon with me? Because it's like, that's not a verb, girl. That's a noun. But, yeah, here comes the Gyarados. In comes the Gyarados. We had a nice, super effective hit on that Ghastly before. And Ghastly wasn't going to be able to do much to us because we're, like, the fully evolved version of it. And we're higher level, I believe. So, like, we got that nice, super effective hit. We were able to outspeed, I think, maybe? I don't know. I actually don't remember. But, oh my gosh, switching right from Albert to Alice is so jarring, because I, like, switched out the Gengar, and then there's a Haunter on my screen, and it's like, what? But no, these are different Pokemon. These are two completely different Pokemon. Oh, they have Dragon Rage. I completely, like, wiped that from my memory that Gyarados had Dragon Rage. Does Gyarados have Dragon Rage in, like, future games? I feel like they don't. Like, I feel like I haven't seen Gyarados use Dragon Rage that much at all. Hydro Pump! Oh my! Hold on, Alice. Hold on, Alice. Alice. Okay, my gosh. My goodness. Nightshade can't miss. Nightshade cannot miss. We're fine. It might be able to in Gen 1. Who knows? Anything can happen in Gen 1. Like, Gen 1, I ought to be prepared for anything, really, because there's like a 1 in 256 chance that, like, anything can miss, right? Like, it's over already? Yes, it is. It was almost over for Haunter for a second there, but I'm glad that Alice made it out. That time I just, like, sometimes I forget the Pokemon's name, and then sometimes I forget what the actual Pokemon it is. That time I used both. I used, like, both the real name and the nickname. I said Haunter and I said Alice. Sure, I'll play with you. I never asked, but thanks, I guess. So we're going to defeat this trainer, and then we're going to end off the episode. But before I do, I just wanted to finish up a topic that I was talking about previously. If only I could remember a topic that I was talking about previously. I feel like I just, like, left a topic hanging, but now I don't remember where I left it hanging. But, yeah. I was talking about flowers. I don't know if I finished that topic. Like, the flowers with, like, Mario and Bowser. Something about Super Mario Odyssey. Like, I feel like I had more to say about Super Mario Odyssey that I'm not saying, but I can't remember what else I wanted to say. well, just okay. I don't really recall, but I do like the ending to Mario Odyssey quite a lot, because first of all, Mario Odyssey I feel like did a decent job at like developing characters, because as I've said, it really shows that like Bowser does love Peach. Like, he has a very weird and messed up way of showing it, but he does, because he wouldn't go through all this trouble to give her like this wonderful wedding on the moon with the world's greatest dress and the world's biggest ring and like the world's finest punch or some crap cooking. I don't know. What did he take from Mount Volcano? I don't know. But like, he wouldn't go through all this trouble to make the wedding so extravagant if he didn't genuinely care for Peach. So it's like, it humanizes Bowser a little bit, despite the fact that he's not even a giant turtle. But like, it makes him more. We sort of like get to see into like his mind for the first time in like for the first time in forever. You sort of like get to see into his mind for a change, like sort of relate to him just a little bit. Obviously, the kidnapping women thing is messed up, but like at least this time he's not like holding her in a cage, you know? It's like Super Mario Odyssey makes Bowser a little bit more like, it sort of gives him more of a, I don't know, just like a reason for doing what he's doing, because before it was like, okay, yeah, he loves Peach or whatever. But I think that like, and it's like that's why he's kidnapping her, sure. Like, that people sort of like say that, like, oh yeah, he kidnaps her because he loves her, but like, there really wasn't like that much evidence of it in previous games. Like, in Mario Odyssey is like perfectly clear, like, this is why he's taking her, is because he loves her, but she doesn't love him back. And I feel like it was like heavily that whole like idea was heavily solidified by Super Mario Odyssey, and obviously that idea was solidified even further by the Mario movie, fantastic, by the way. Like, if you've never seen that wonderful piece of media, then please do. Don't be intimidated. Don't be like fooled by the fact that it was made by the creators of Despicable Me, because I know that might be like a turnoff for some people, because like that Despicable Me is a movie as a movie series designed for kids, full of fart jokes, but like Mario movie is actually really good. Oh, you little brute. Yes, I am a little brute who's about to end the episode. So, thank you all so much for watching, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And this is Alex Espion, signing off.